Hi guys, I just want to do a video to talk about holidays. Holidays surrounded with family, surrounded with food. In particular, here in the United States, we are celebrating Thanksgiving in the next couple of days, and it's primarily centered around feast and family, feast and family, and it's like my favorite holiday. I absolutely love Thanksgiving um, because I love to feast and I love my family. But really, let's get real here. Something that I've over the last week, something that has been a reoccurring thing that I'm talking about with my clients is let's talk about Thanksgiving. It can be an absolute nightmare for people who have in the past struggled with an eating disorder. So, some of my newer clients who've never really been um, tested in such an emotional environment with so many pressures coming from a variety of different directions, that this may be their first test. So oftentimes, as I ask, okay, so how do you want, what's Thanksgiving going to be like? Well, I'm going to wait till I'm hungry, then I'm going to enjoy the food, I'm going to really soak it in, and then I'm going to stop when I'm not hungry, and then it's going to be great. And I just am like, dude, we need to get real. That right there is a fantasy. That's not how it works. First of all, let's get real about the amount of food. I'm going to use myself as an example to give you, get real. How much food is going to be in front of you. And it's not just in that one meal at the table, you sit down and it's over. It's all the time, it's all day long. So here's just my example of Thanksgiving. I'm going to wake up on Thursday morning early because I'm going to be fixing the stuffing and I've got to stuff the bird and I got to get it in. But I'm going to make myself some coffee and I'm going to put some Baileys in that coffee with a little bit of whole whipped cream. And I'm going to wait till I'm hungry and I'm going to enjoy the most pleasurable food that is around me that I can find. Okay? And I'll eat enough and I'm going to hopefully stave off my hunger to where I am enjoying the most food with as much hunger without being insane during Thanksgiving meal. So this is a more accurate description of what Thanksgiving in terms of the food is like in my house. I have hosted Thanksgiving for the past 10 years at least. 10 years at least. And I've got a little system going. And every year I rotate, in-laws and my family and whatnot. So these are the foods that I prepare. So I have wake up, have my coffee, I fix the stuffing, put the bird in. I make what's one of my favorite recipes of my mother's, which is breakfast cake. It's basically got a streusel inside, so it's like a cinnamon roll cake with whipped cream. I'll have eggs, some bacon, so that it's kind of like savory and salty and sweet. And I'll be making a cheese platter, a charcuterie platter. I'm going to have an olive tray, other finger foods so that people can eat from while we're waiting for the meal, which we'll probably have, I don't know, between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. The meal, I will have prepared homemade rolls, which I'm doing today. It's a couple days ahead. Homemade sweet butter rolls. I will be making a family kind of churchy dish called frog eye salad. I'm going to be doing a green salad, homemade salad dressing, the turkey. I do homemade stuffing. I'm going to out of bird stuffing. I make this corn Bisquick casserole, which is really freaking good. We're going to have what is it called? Butternut squash, the mashed potatoes, the delicious gravy from the turkey. My in-laws are bringing deviled eggs. They're bringing in an almond puffed pastry, a Jello mold. Then we're going to have all the desserts. We're going to do a homemade pecan pie, pumpkin pie, and I make this amazing cheesecake. with this delicious crust. And I like to use the old canned cherries. Yes, I love that stuff. Um, but we'll also have cranberry sauce, cranberry jello, because I like the jello or the, and I also like the sauce. How can any human being have all of that in one day? Right? So I absolutely love every part of it. So, but in order for me to not obliterate and hurt myself physically. And I forgot. I cannot forget this. I'm going to open a really nice fancy bottle of red wine on top of all that because it's Thanksgiving. I'm going to open up an expensive bottle that I don't never really open. So, yeah. I'm not going to be able to eat all that. And I know that ahead of time. So the idea that I'm just going to be around this food and I'm just going to eat when I'm hungry. No. You're going to have to pick and choose. If your Thanksgiving is like the way I have Thanksgiving, you're not going to get it all in. And you need to know that ahead of time. So the strategy that I have taken for the last, 19 years since I recovered is I'm going to enjoy with the hunger that I do have, what is going to bring the most pleasure. I'm not going to waste my hunger on filler, right? So a common diet recommendation is to eat the salads and the vegetables first, fill up so you're not hungry so you won't eat. That is the biggest freaking joke. That's not what actually happens. You end up doing that and plus eating all of the food. So you just ate twice as much as you normally would have. And if you would have just eaten what sounded good to you. So the first recommendation that I've been helping others prepare for this is to really pick and choose. If you know you're not going to be able to eat it all today, pick and choose what you will eat and what's the most important on Thanksgiving. So when I fill my plate up, first of all, I'm going to have my glass of wine. Then I'm going to have, the vegetables, and then I'm going to fill my plate up. My priority is the stuffing. Oh my God, it is so good. That stuffing and the gravy, and I'll get the turkey. So I'm going to prioritize those. Those are to me the most rich, the most savory, the most rewarding foods. And I'm going to drink it with my red wine. Okay. And as soon as my hunger is gone, I'm going to stop. Okay. And then I will reprioritize. Well, do I want to try this or try that if I get hungry again? The other thing is I might not want anything from dinner. I might go towards desserts next if that sounds good to me. So it's kind of like a game time decision. And at this point, I would, like if I had a choice right now, I'd have the pecan pie, but I might have the cream cheese or cake later. I don't know. But I don't expect to eat it all in one day. So the other thing that helps is for me to realize that I have days to spread these items out. I don't have to eat them all at once. So often when you feel backed into a corner by a diet, you really only have that day. But in reality, if you were told, hey, you've got 3 days to enjoy this food or 5 days, and in the fact, actually, you have every day of the year because all of these foods you can go to the supermarket and buy. You can get a pumpkin pie year round at Walmart if you want to. And they always have turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing in the bakery deli. So all of this stuff, as much as it's not as good homemade, you can have all year round. So you don't have to eat it all right now. So by helping people realize that, number one, don't fantasize about being able to eat to hunger as if there's no food around and it's going to be that easy. You're going to salivate, you're going to want to try foods. But knowing ahead of time that you are going to pick and choose, and that you can have the stuff you're not eating now later, it will really help kind of decrease that pressure in that one day. By spreading the days out of your experience with those foods, that will also help too. The other thing is to really visualize in your head. This has always helped me. It helped me when I first recovered too. Realizing and visualizing what I truly wanted out of the experience. I would visualize that I'm enjoying the food, that I'm enjoying the ambiance, I'm enjoying the people, the smells, and I can enjoy this food, no shame, no guilt, no pressure, no anxiety. Again, that comes from not caring if I get fat. That's the body image stuff. But that I don't want to be uncomfortable. I don't want to have to roll off of the table, unbutton my pants, and fall asleep. I never really liked that feeling. I recall growing up and feeling that way every Thanksgiving because we were poor, and Thanksgiving was was like this big meal where there was enough for us to all eat, and I would literally, as a child, roll off of the table. And I don't have to. I'm not starving anymore. I'm not sharing food with 10 siblings and my grandparents that lived with us, so relaxing into it. But be realistic. Be realistic with the difficulty you're going to feel when food's everywhere. And practice in your mind ahead of time, knowing that, well, I might not get this, but I really want that. And also really get a grasp of how you'll feel by allowing yourself what you want to eat, by following the body's response to that food through the removal of hunger, and the benefit of knowing that you didn't ruin anything, no harm's been done. You don't have to starve yourself or deprive. You don't need to fix anything because nothing's been ruined. And to give yourself lenience. If this is the first holiday that you're experiencing after recovery, don't expect perfection. Be in the space. If this is the first time you haven't, had an eating disorder in a social environment, like where you have food pushers, ask to take the food home with you. Accept the food. Take it home with you. Can I take this? Is delicious. I'm so full, but can I take some home with me? Really learn how to manage some of those social pressures with food, and learn to manage the ability to have delayed gratification. Pick and choose your pleasure. That is the best advice I can give you. You don't have to eat it all in one day. You can eat it spread out for days. And ultimately, you can make more. You can have pumpkin pie every day, the rest of your life, anytime you want it. So you don't have to eat it all right now. By creating this is it, the moment, this is it. You create kind of pressure in a space to try to get all of that food in. And by relieving that pressure, by adding days, by adding time, it really allows you to relax and experience the food you've put on your plate. Don't have shame, don't have guilt, and keep in mind that the goal is that you never diet again. Never. So I hope this helps. I know this is probably not super detailed, but if you can be realistic with yourself, be realistic with the things that you want to prioritize on Thanksgiving, and give yourself the lenience to figure this out, hopefully it is a more calm, a more enjoyable, a more peaceful experience for you with the food, with your family, and with your environment. So I'm going to end this by letting you see my table. I'm so proud of it. Oh, that's a little too much. It's already set. We're going to have 11 people. Isn't that pretty? 11 people sitting at this table. Have fun with your table too. I mean, all of this is about just connecting with people. So, yes, look it. Happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful holiday. Bye-bye.